Okay, hi there guys. I've been away for some time. It's been about 5 months since I recorded a video last time, and a lot of things have changed over that period of time. My old computer totally went on the fritz and I had to buy a new one from scratch. So that's what I'm using to record this. It's a brand new computer from scratch, and I had to replace everything. Or I felt like replacing everything, rather. So I replaced the desk, I replaced the screen, I replaced everything, pretty much everything. It's the same sound system, the same headphones, but everything else, down to like the power strips, is brand new, including a brand new webcam that I'm using to record this. So I'm gonna try this out with OBS Studio, and we're gonna see how it turns out in this video. So hopefully this will be decently watchable for this video, but hopefully it will improve with time as well. Okay, I've picked up a lot of things, but I'm just going to talk about a couple of things in this video. The first thing is that I finally received this beautiful art book from Friday the 13th, the game. I think, as you all know, if you've been following my channel for some time, I've been a Kickstarter backer of this game since day one. This was one of the physical bonuses that us backers were able to add as a kind of a backer bonus for a slight amount of money. You know, back the game with a little bit more money, and you got this beautiful little art book. It's quite small, this book, as you can probably tell. I was expecting it to be a little bit bigger, but you got key art from the game. You got skins, assets, Jason skins, like this kind of stuff. Really interesting to see unmasked, all the different Jasons and the models and everything that goes into it. There's Tom Savini's Jason skin. Really love that design. It's really awesome. I finished the game, by the way. I've completed the entire thing. I've reached level 150, which is the highest possible level, and it was not an easy task. I did all the grinding. I completed all the challenges, all that stuff. It's been a lot of fun, but it's been very buggy, and it's been problematic from the start, to be honest. And now they're probably not going to be able to add more content to the game due to the lawsuit from Victor Miller, which is very unfortunate. So I think Friday the 13th, the game, is pretty much done as it is. But this is a beautiful little bonus. Here's some single player stuff. Calling it single player is a bit optimistic, I think. It's really just a challenge mode, but it's a pretty cool mode. It's kind of like being in the movies. It's like being Jason in one of the Friday the 13th movies. It's hard to explain, but it's pretty cool. Here's some cool unused VHS artwork, sort of VHS style artwork that was not used for the cover of the game, but nevertheless pretty cool. And in the back of the book, you've got the names of all the backers from Kickstarter and Backer Kit, and my name is among them as well. I'm not going to show you that right now, but very nice little book. Again, slightly small in my opinion. Could have been a little bit bigger, but looks pretty cool. And you've got Jason's mask there on the back as well. And you can see that picks up the light right there. So yeah, just wanted to mention that one. Also, I wanted to mention a couple of steelbooks from Studio Canal. They've recently been releasing new 4K editions of some John Carpenter classics. These were released both as these very lavish box sets and as steelbooks. The box sets also included, I think, art cards, posters, and even soundtrack CDs in some cases, I think. But I went for the steelbooks because I'm a steelbook kind of person, and I didn't want to chip in for very expensive large box sets. They're just going to take up space on the shelf in a way. So we had 4 movies. The Fog was the first one. Kind of a bluish steelbook edition. Looks like that. Escape from New York. Like that. Very nice sort of orange look to that. Then Prince of Darkness. Probably one of his most underrated films in my opinion. One that really deserves to be seen. It's way out there, this movie. Very crazy and wild. But it's very interesting and unique and pretty cool. And then you had They Live, of course, his classic satire on American consumerism and American capitalism. Not my favorite John Carpenter movie, if I'm totally honest, but it's nice to have a very nice edition of the film, because I've never actually owned. I've only owned The Fog before. I've never owned any of these movies before, so it's really nice to have these editions. And the thing about these is they have this uniform artwork, all of them, as you can see, very nicely designed, and they all have unique colors, and they are all 3-disc editions. So you got your 4K disc right there for starters. Then you got your Blu-ray disc, and then you have a bonus disc with bonus features on Blu-ray as well. So it's just the exact same layout for all of them: 4K disc, Blu-ray bonus disc. But I've really been enjoying these beautiful restorations, great bonus features, and it's really, really nice to finally own a lot more of the John Carpenter classics, because believe it or not, I didn't see these movies for the longest time. Most of John Carpenter's movies I only saw in like 2015, 2016. I had to like sit down and say, okay, I'm finally gonna watch all of John Carpenter's movies, because I'd only seen a handful, actually. I'd only seen like Halloween, The Thing, maybe Escape from New York like once. I hadn't seen a lot of them, to be honest, so it's nice to finally own these. So but yeah, I'm not gonna go in depth on these. I'm just gonna mention they're really nice steelbook editions, and the Studio Canal has been really doing a great job this past year. They also released new 4K editions of the Rambo movies, the Rambo trilogy, which, even though I own the Rambo trilogy, I'm dying to get my hands on those again, because I love those movies so much. I'll just briefly give you my opinion on the movies in order, I guess. The Fog, I like it a lot. It's one of the most atmospheric horror movies ever made, I think. And by atmospheric, I don't mean that it's the greatest horror movie necessarily, but I think it's one of the coziest. Like, it's the kind of movie that I'll watch when there's a storm outside and you'll wrap yourself in a big blanket and just, I don't know, drink tea or something like that. It's a very, very cozy movie. Not his best. He was pressured to add a lot more gore and make it more overt. Kind of silly in some cases, some instances, I guess. But it's a pretty good movie. I enjoy it for what it is. Great score as always. Escape from New York. Like I said, I've only seen this movie like maybe twice, which is bizarre, because this is a John Carpenter classic. Stars Kurt Russell as the legendary Snake Plissken, of course, who is trying to break into New York City, which is now sort of the entire Manhattan Island is a maximum security prison full of dangerous madmen trying to rescue the president, who's been captured behind enemy lines in Manhattan. I do enjoy this one, but if I'm honest, this is not my favorite. I don't think this is up there with The Thing or Halloween or movies like that. But that might just be because I didn't see this one growing up. Maybe if I watched this movie growing up, I'd appreciate it more. So I'll give you that much. I think Prince of Darkness was next, 87, I think. Prince of Darkness is an underrated John Carpenter movie. It's a very trippy movie. It's about this church in Los Angeles that begins to... it's containing some sort of strange ooze, this strange liquid that is said to hold the anti-God, I think they call it. It's not the anti-Christ, it's the anti-God, I think? I don't know. I'm not quite sure. I've only seen this movie a couple of times. But a priest and a group of scientists go in to study this phenomenon, and of course, all hell breaks loose, literally and metaphorically. So, very gooey. It's interesting how it's both sort of surreal and cerebral, but it's also very gooey and gory and like horrific. Only John Carpenter can pull that stuff off. So definitely an underrated movie. Give it a watch. Again, maybe not like the greatest horror movie in the pantheon of horror movies, but it's definitely like a little John Carpenter gem, in my opinion. Then we had They Live, of course, as I mentioned before, not my personal favorite. I do enjoy it for what it is. I do enjoy the sort of satire and the critique on American consumerism and capitalism and all that stuff. I mean, in Trump's America, this movie is this is not even science fiction anymore. But yeah, enjoyable movie, but again, it's never been my favorite. I've never really been a big fan of Roddy Piper. I don't know, there's just something about him that sort of takes me out of the movie. I only see like the wrestler. I don't really see a capable actor there. But maybe that's sort of the point, I don't know. I guess he's about as all-American as you can get, maybe. But yeah, fun movie. Not my personal favorite, but the bonus features are very interesting and fun enough to watch, you know. I'm not going to watch this every year like I do with Halloween or The Thing or anything like that, but fun movie. I have two more really amazing horror movie editions that I picked up recently. They're both from Blue Underground. And I saw these popping up in everybody's videos and in everybody's Instagram posts and everybody's feeds. And it took me quite a while to get these from Amazon.com because I live over in Sweden. And, you know, with the Christmas break and the holidays and, you know, postal services and all that stuff, it took a long while for these to get here, but they're finally here. Both from Blue Underground. We have Lucio Fulci's Zombie, also known as Zombie Flesh Eaters or Zombie 2. This is a classic Italian gore film with a beautiful lenticular slipcover, as you can see from the infamous eye-piercing scene. Ouch! You could pick between 3 different lenticular covers, and I think most people went for this one because it's just the nastiest and it's one of the most famous scenes from the movie. But either way, fantastic new edition. Blue Underground have actually released this movie before, but this is a newer, much more definitive edition of the film. This has a brand new 4K restoration. Does not contain an actual 4K disc, it's only Blu-ray discs, but it's based on 4K restoration, which has been meticulously restored. It's got tons of bonus features on an entire bonus disc, and you get the entire soundtrack CD in this one. Amazing, really amazing. And on top of all that stuff, on top of the great remaster and all the bonus features you could ever want and a soundtrack CD, they also include a ton of subtitles in different languages. And that's my small, tiny little pet peeve with this, is that the subtitles are yellow. What a travesty, I know. Horrible. Like, I'm just gonna throw this thing in the garbage because it's worthless now. No, actually the subtitles are in a multitude of different languages, including Swedish, which I was not expecting. Plus, I should mention this thing is region free, so you can play this on any Blu-ray player all over the world. I think these are strictly limited though, so you want to get your hands on this about as quickly as you possibly can. I don't know if they're sold out already, if they're just on eBay, but grab them while you can, because these are going to go quickly if they haven't already. And this is what it looks like on the inside. But these also have reversible artwork, so you can flip it if you want to. So yeah, this is just phenomenal. Just a beautiful edition. This is how you present film. Everything you could ever want out of the film Zombie or Zombie Flesh Eaters is here. A great restoration, a ton of bonus features, soundtrack CD, it's region free, subtitles, like lenticular cover. I mean, Blue Underground, you killed it with this release. This is perfect, pretty much. Save maybe the yellow subtitles, but don't tell anyone. And they also did the exact same thing with Maniac, the slasher movie classic from 1980, starring Joe Spinell, directed by William Lustig. I always found the name William Lustig to be a pretty funny name because the word lustig in Swedish means funny or humorous or silly. There's nothing silly about this director, let me tell you. This is a classic. I didn't mention Zombie. That's a classic zombie gore film from the 70s, of course, Lucio Fulci. It takes place in the Caribbean. It's amazing. Just, if you like gore and over-the-top violence and sexuality and beautiful 70s over-the-top mayhem, then that movie's just perfect. But anyway, Maniac, not like the slasher movies of its day. This was a much more sort of... it's much more of a portrait of a very disturbed individual, played by Joe Spinell. He was actually he was in a couple of the Rocky movies, I think. Rocky does some loan sharking, I think, in the first Rocky movie. The guy he works for is played by Joe Spinell, I believe. Mr. Gasso, I think his name is. And he was also in The Godfather, I think, oddly enough. So to go from The Godfather to Maniac, that's quite a transition there. But yeah, very unique, twisted film. You really sort of get this sort of almost strange sort of sympathy for the character. I don't know if it's sympathy, but you sort of understand that he's at least a very, very broken human being. He's not just a killer in a mask stalking virgins. He's a very, very sort of messed up, troubled human being. You really get that feeling about him. Also stars Carolyn Monroe who's absolutely lovely. I met her in Texas in 2013, and she was just the most wonderful person ever. Like, you could just walk up to her table and talk to her for an hour, and she would just gladly talk to you about anything in the whole wide world. She was so lovely, so wonderful to talk to. In fact, I have right over on that wall, I have a photo from Maniac with Joe Spinell and Carolyn Monroe, signed by Carolyn Monroe. So she's just an amazing person. But anyway, same thing here. Beautiful lenticular cover. Doesn't do much, but it's very cool nevertheless. I can look at this for hours on end. I just love it. A new 4K restoration, same thing as before. One Blu-ray disc with the movie, one Blu-ray disc packed with bonus features, absolutely jam-packed with bonus features, and the soundtrack. I mean, this is just, thank you, Blue Underground. This is just like a gift from the gods or something. This is perfect. Again, yellow subtitles. I don't know. But yeah, no, but seriously, awesome releases. These two are probably two of the best horror releases on Blu-ray in the year 2018, hands down. Zombie came out in November of 2018, and Maniac came out in December of 2018. I think, I want to say that was when they came out. But yeah, if you haven't picked these up and you're a horror fan, then run to your Amazon store and or Blue Underground store and pick these up while you can, because they're just flat out amazing. Such a fantastic job on these. I love them so much. So can't wait to dig into the bonus features. I haven't even looked at that. I forgot to mention, I actually had an older version of Zombie, or Zombie Flesh Eaters. This was the Arrow Video Steelbook, which was released a couple of years back. This was also a really lavish, beautiful, really good edition of the film, but I noticed, unfortunately, after a while, that my main disc with the movie on it started glitching, and it was very, very unfortunate. And I even contacted customer service for Arrow Video and said, I want to get a replacement. And of course, someone there helped me and said, sure, just give us proof of purchase at the Arrow Video store and we'll help you out. And that's when I realized I didn't order this from the Arrow Video store. I probably ordered this from Amazon.co.uk or some other site, maybe Savi.com or something like that. So I can't replace this, unfortunately, which is very unfortunate, because this is also a really beautiful edition. But I think, if I'm being totally honest, this one tops it, because it's, kind of crazy how good this edition is. And it came with 3 different covers that you could choose from. One was, of course, her eye being pierced. One was the zombies walking across the bridge into Manhattan. And there was another one too. What was the third one? Yeah, I think the third one was just the zombie with the sort of maggots on his face, I think. Something like that. Anyway, really, really fantastic editions of 2 classic, gory, subversive horror films from the late 70s and early 80s. So it's actually kind of perfect that Zombies from 79, Maniac is from 1980. So they kind of go together in this beautiful time frame too. So anyway, that was it for the Blue Underground releases. And of course, we had the John Carpenter steelbooks. Be sure to check these out too, really beautiful. Either the steelbooks or the Studio Canal box sets, which are even more lavish than these. They're more along the lines of those, but probably even more lavish. So really, really wonderful to see these films get their proper respect. And then of course we had the Friday 13th The Game art book, just a little bonus that I wanted to show you guys. So that was basically it for this video, all I wanted to show for now. I hope you enjoy this format. I'm gonna try to produce more videos in this style and using the webcam, because it's a lot more convenient and I get to use the new computer and all that stuff. So I'm gonna be able to record Thursdays and Fridays if I'm lucky. So we'll see about that. I've got a video plan that I think you're gonna love. It's gonna be a very, very interesting project coming up. I'm gonna try to get on that as soon as possible, but we'll see. So yeah, that's it for this video. Hope you've enjoyed this one, and yeah, I'll catch you when I catch you. Just kind of been working and trying to, restore things back to the way they were, and with this new wonderful computer, things are certainly looking up this year. So anyway, take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you in the future. Bye.